Welcome everybody. Today we'll be trying to beat Venom on heroic difficulty using a Spider-Ham leadership deck. In our last video, we took one of the weaker heroes, Iron Man, against one of the easier scenarios, Sandman. And today we're reversing both of those. So one of the harder scenarios in the game to win on true solo, but also one of the top, I'd say easily top 5 heroes in the game in Spider-Ham. And not only that, but a hero who matches up pretty well with this particular scenario. So Venom's got two things going on. The first is that whenever we attack and damage Venom with a card, we place a face down boost card on our identity, which then transfers to him through main scheme 1. So we need to be careful with our attacks of Venom. We prefer to do our attacks in big bursts while we have Spider-Ham's card Cartoon Physics at the ready. That will allow us to take a big 4 or 5 card boost attack, but only ultimately take 1 damage. You might think that we could also ally block in that scenario, but Venom has a handful of ways to give himself overkill as a boost ability. So one of the scarier cards is this Now We're Angry, which as a boost ability reveals it, gives him +1 attack and overkill. So all of a sudden that ally block turns into a nearly full strength attack back at our hero. There's also this card in the Symbiotic Strength modular set that we'll be playing with, where it adds 2 boost icons and gives the attack overkill. So we need to be really careful of those big overkill attacks throughout the entire game. One way that we can one thing the scenario gives us to fight back a bit is this bell tower environment. So it starts on its quiet side, which doesn't have any effect, but then whenever, I guess the effect is whenever we would deal damage to Venom from an attack, we can put that many chime counters here instead. When it gets up to 3, it flips. And once it's flipped, all damage Venom takes increases by 1. So this goes towards that strategy of waiting to pile on a bunch of damage to Venom at once, because we can spend a few small attacks to flip this bell tower and then do the bulk of our damage, all while Venom is taking extra damage from this environment. And then when this gets to 0 chime counters, it flips back though. And whenever Venom's attack would deal damage to our identity, we remove that many chime counters instead. So as long as Venom's attacking and we're not ally blocking, this is going to act as some healing for us as well. Although ultimately when we do damage to Venom, we do want to flip it for the damage boost there. So that is a thing we'll be carefully managing throughout the game. Another scary aspect of this scenario is that on Venom 2, when it's revealed, we put the Tooth and Nail side scheme into play. So this is an 8 threat side scheme with a hazard icon. So this is quite difficult to clear on turn 1. We're going to try to build our deck with some ways to do it. We can also damage Venom to remove threat from here, but that's a risky proposition because of the extra boost cards that come onto Venom whenever he is damaged by an attack. So it's tricky to balance, getting enough thwarting / damage to clear this while still being able to survive a boosted attack from Venom that could potentially have overkill. So we'd like to thwart it if possible, but there's some hands with swinging web pig that could give us the turn 1 clear of that as well. And as usual, the first few turns of the game are always the toughest when we don't have any upgrades and supports out yet to help us out. So this makes those early turns that much harder. Scanning through the rest of the encounter cards, For Whom the Bell Tolls is kind of actually a nice one for Spider-Ham, because it'll often deal him 1 damage, which translates into a tune counter, so not a bad exchange there. Something to be really careful of is the Biting Retort card. This gives Venom an extra activation, so it just matches whatever form our identity is in. So if we're in alter ego form, he'll scheme again. And now the main scheme threshold is a bit higher than for some scenarios at 10, but it's the only scheme. it's the only stage of the main scheme. So when it's completed, that's the game. And the Biting Retort gives each boost card additional boost icons. So even scarier than in Advanced when we're on Alter Ego form, Spider-Ham is a hero who can spend a little more time in hero form, doesn't always have to flip to Alter Ego. But because of that risk of the Biting Retorts and advances, because Venom is steady and we can't always confuse him, we do have to play with caution around going to Alter Ego form. So we've got the required modular set, Symbiotic Strength. The recommended modular set, Down to Earth. I think this scenario is hard enough as it is, and Down to Earth is a pretty easy one. And in fact, these common criminals are, I would say, even actively good for Spider-Ham. We won't, I mean, they have Surge, so they're kind of neutral, I guess, but then with one attack, they'll do 1 damage to Spider-Ham when they attack. We'll happily trade that 1 damage for a resource most of the time. Okay, that, yep, standard 1 once again. Spider-Ham's Nemesis is pretty interesting. The Green Gobbler removes all tune counters from him. So that is a pretty nasty one to draw. Nefarious Trap has a hazard icon as well, though only a threat of 3. So we'll hope to avoid that, although I guess, I mean, nothing we can do about it, but maybe pushes us to use our tune counters a bit more as opposed to hoarding them just in case the Green Gobbler comes out. So there we have it. Let's see how we build the deck. So in my heroic games, we're always a little bit limited in strategy because we want to make sure we're bringing a powerful enough deck to have a chance against the scenario, especially hard scenarios. So whenever we get a chance to tailor the deck a little bit more specific to the hero, I want to be sure to do that. So for the few Web Warrior heroes that we've got in the Sinister Motives wave, I definitely want to bring the Web Warrior suite of allies. In this case, because we're leadership, we only have the basic allies, but there's still plenty of good ones. Spider-Man Peter Parker being the best. As a response, after he attacks or thwarts, we can ready another Web Warrior character, which includes our hero. So a very strong activation, and one that we might not even block with Peter in most cases, because just using his last point of health for another activation is just so much value by itself. Ghost Spider, very good. Hobie, is maybe a little more on the average side, but his ability to give us a lot of burst damage at the end of the game, which is the way we really want to go against Venom, because he gets extra boost cards for every time he takes damage. So if we can kill him in one big shot, we don't have to take that big, potentially overkill counterattack coming back. These other 3 are a bit more on the marginal side as well, but every Web Warrior goes up in value when we're playing the Web of Life and Destiny, which is a really strong card for our Web Warrior heroes, has a resource cost of 0 for our Web Warrior hero. And whenever a Web Warrior ally leaves play, we'll draw a card. So kind of like a Skilled Investigator would be the analogy of just a 0 cost card that's going to draw us a card, you know, most, maybe 75% of the turns of the game. So strong enough effect to build around our allies. Now when we think about Spider-Ham, we of course have tremendous resource generation. From any time he takes damage, he gets a tune counter, and then those tune counters can be spent as resources. So we don't need to mess with things too much, because I mean that's just a really strong ability. The one card that really combos well with Spider-Ham, and the reason I've chosen leadership specifically, is this Clarity of Purpose. So this generates a wild resource while dealing a damage to the attached character. So for Spider-Ham, that essentially makes 2 resources. A little note on the timing there: all resources to pay for something are generated at once, so we cannot use the tune counter that this makes immediately to pay for the same card as the resource that the resource ability is going to, just in case that comes up. Usually we've got plenty of tune counters on Ham anyways to pay for whatever we need. So for resource generators, we've got those 2 plus the team building exercise. didn't want to go too hard on the value generator cards like Helicarrier or Mansion or anything like that, because Spider-Ham just gets so many resources. Our bottleneck is usually on the cards to play from hand rather than the resources themselves. So in addition to our suite of allies, we've got Make the Call, Rapid Response, just extra ways to get Peter Parker into play for his powerful uses. Should also mention here Maria Hill is our one non-Web Warrior ally, but she's just generally one of the best allies in the game. And one thing that she helps us with is being able to defeat the Tooth and Nail side scheme on turn 1, being a 2-cost ally that thwarts for 2 and gets us another resource so that we can still play a Peter Parker, which would help us beat Tooth and Nail turn 1, or a organic webbing, but we'd still need a tune counter. In combination with Petulant Pig to draw cards, Maria Hill is a way that will often be able to clear Tooth and Nail potentially on turn 1, while just being a solid, generic, good target for Rapid Response, Make the Call. Call for Backup, just another way to get Peter. Specialized Training is a bit of an interesting one. We find that Spider-Ham thwarts almost every turn that it's available, so getting the thwarting specialization is nice. There's scenarios where we could get the +4 health and then draw a card whenever you take a damage from an attack specialization as well, because Ham loves to take damage from attacks. But I think the thwarting one is just a little better in general. This lines up well, so it comes in with 5 threat, lines up well with the Hogwashed card, which can remove exactly 5 threat from a side scheme. And I just like player side schemes in general. They're pretty low opportunity cost, but if we come on a turn where our most efficient thing to do is thwarting and our main scheme and side schemes are taken care of, we can clear that, or clear one of those to get some extra value. One special card I want to highlight for this matchup is Target Acquired. This can help us cancel those Now We're Angry, or the card from the Symbiotic Strength modular set that gives an attack +2 boost icons in Overkill, because the game will go down a direction where we're going to take a 4 or 5 boost card attack from Venom at some points. If we can cancel that Overkill effect, we can save ourselves a lot of damage, assuming we've done an ally block, because a surprise Overkill for an ally block can be quite dangerous. And then for more Ham in particular, we've got Downtime and Endurance. Peter Parker has a massive recovery stat of 5, and when he recovers, we get a tune counter on him. So besides thwarting, recovering is another fantastic use for Peter. So Downtime gives us some extra value when we do that. Endurance, just some more health in general, because Peter's health turns into resources via the tune counters. So there we go, not super heavy into a certain archetype, but we've hedged towards the Web Warriors to highlight our Web Warrior heroes, and I'll do that in the next few decks as well. So there we have it, and let's go to the games. So as we reveal Venom Stage 2, he comes in tough, and we reveal the Tooth and Nail side scheme, which we will make every effort to clear on turn 1, so as to not draw an additional encounter card. We've put the bell tower environment into play. Actually, this is the wrong side. Starts on the quiet side and needs 3 chime counters to flip. As a reminder, this is a video that is part of a series I call Heroic Roulette, where we try to beat every hero in a campaign expansion, every villain in a campaign expansion using a different hero from the same wave. So first video we had Ironheart facing Sandman with an aggression deck. Here we're using one of the better heroes of the wave, Spider-Ham, but against one of the tougher villains in Venom. So still upcoming, we have to use Protection and Justice to complete the challenge. Here we go. So we've got Maria Hill. Maria Hill is one of the cards which in conjunction with Swinging Web Pig can allow us to clear Tooth and Nail on turn 1. We also have I Don't Think So. So actually, does this give us it here? Because we can get a tune counter from the Daily Beagle. Oh no, sorry, I confused this with Hogwash. So yeah, we just really need, with this hand currently, we can't clear Tooth and Nail. So I want to send back at least these 4. And then it's an interesting question if I send back Strength as well, because I do have a 2-cost card, obviously, to play with it. But it's so important just to be able to hit a Petulant Pig or Spider-Man Peter Parker. I think I'm going to keep it. We've still got a decent chance of hitting one of those cards. All right. So we got Spider-Man, but no energy resource, which is kind of a bummer. And, well, I guess we can draw our card with Maria Hill and see what happens. Okay, so that's not an energy. So my option is, I mean, I can get a tune counter by recovering for 0, but I need that thwart in order to clear this, assuming I could play Spider-Man. So I think I'm just looking to play a 2-cost and a 1-cost here. So either Rapid Response or the Hammer. Probably going to go with Rapid Response as just a little stronger card in the early game. And then Cartoon Physics is just a solid card. Not going to be thwarting this particularly soon. Yep, all right. So 1 for Cartoon Physics, 2 for Rapid Response. We'll thwart what we can. So thwart this for 4. And hang on tight. So 1 on the main scheme. Step 2. We could take this, or we could have Maria Hill block. We could Rapid Response right away, which is a little bit aggro of a use of the Rapid Response, but given that we'll be getting dealt 3 encounter cards, we just want to use all the value that we have at hand right now. Obviously, if we just take the damage, we get a tune counter, but I would like to play Petulant Pig. Also, by saving Maria Hill, we get the opportunity to maybe thwart twice in conjunction with Rapid Response. So let's just take this attack for 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to Cartoon Physics that, because I think we'll definitely have the chance to block more damage in the future. So get ourselves a tune counter, and then 3 encounter cards. Okay, gang up another attack. So, I mean, the same logic basically holds. We're still at a reasonably healthy life total of 9, and we can cancel it if it's too big, so let's just take it again for 1, 2, 3, plus remove a chime counter, but there are none. Number 2. All right, so Venom's attacks are going to have overkill. So now there's really not a good block available with Maria Hill. And 3. The Common Criminal, which surges. Swinging Assault. The villain attacks. Give the villain 1 additional boost card for that activation. So here we're probably going to use the cartoon physics because this is coming in for 3 with Overkill and 2 boost cards. So we will just say we're going to take it. So first card, resolve this card's 1 revealed ability. Remove 2 chime counters here. If it's on the quiet side, which it is, take 1 damage. Okay, so we generally like that card because we'll take 1 damage for 1 tune counter. Second boost card is 2, so this attack is coming in for 5, which would actually kill us at this point. So we will wiggle our body and use the cartoon physics to only take 1 and go up to 4 tune counters. So now, don't want to use the Petulant Pig anymore because not sure we can survive that one. Let's start with this here. This seems too good to pass up. Ham it up, remove 4 threat from Tooth and Nail. Actually, let's think a little bit harder because I really want to damage Venom twice to remove this. But I don't think we should do that this turn because this turn we're going to flip to Alter Ego and we don't want him having extra boost cards in Alter Ego, and this is an irrelevant encounter card in Alter Ego. So let's still ham it up, thwart for 4. One of the many cards that showcases Spider-Ham's S-tier qualities. Now I'm just seeing make the call in the hand. We did have the Spider-Man, which you couldn't play the first time. So that is very likely the play. I mean, that's, I think, pretty clearly better than any of the other options here. So let's play Peter Parker. Actually, hold on. Forgetting about Spider-Man's whole deal here, because with those tune counters, I could play multiple things. So do I go for, say, a Hobie plus Spider-Man? That would use all 4 counters. I'm always thinking about Shadow of the Past, which puts the Green Gobbler into play, who removes all of our tune counters. Swinging Web Pig, I mean, it does damage, and like I said, well, I guess Swinging Web Pig, but send it all at the bell tower is an interesting option. I feel all right with blocks between Maria Hill and Rapid Response and Spider-Man. So let's do that. Let us attack to knock off the tough. Spend 3 tune counters for Swinging Web Pig. Send it all at the bell tower. Confuse Venom. So Venom is steady, so we'll need 2 there, but it will be really great for us when we eventually do get that second one on. And then spend the 2 from hand plus the final tune counter for Make the Call, getting Spider-Man into play. So Spider-Man will thwart the main scheme for 2, which readies a Web Warrior character. Flip and recover. Recovering does give us a tune counter. And then, yeah, save Mariah Hill for a block or emergency thwart. All right, hopefully in advance doesn't catch us too hard, but we need to take that risk at least once or twice in the game. So 1 on the main scheme, Venom schemes for 1, 2, just 2, so now that advance isn't actually that scary. Common criminal schemes for 0. 2 cards. For whom the bell tolls, we remove 2 chime counters. And now it is on its ringing side, so we remove 1 threat from the main scheme. Man, that card just really helped us out in either case. And webbed up, so that'll stop our next attack and stun us, so effectively stopping our next 2 attacks. So ultimately not that bad. Looking here to damage Venom twice to get rid of Now We're Angry. I still might just recover. Yeah, I will recover up to full. In part just because of that tune counter. Let's go to hero form. We've got a web warrior, so let's get out the web of life and destiny for free. Pay 1 for clarity of purpose. So let's have Spider-Man attack Venom. So deal Venom 3 damage because Bell Tower is ringing. Gives him a boost. And removes 1 rage counter from Now We're Angry. That will ready Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham will do a fake attack to discard this and then get stunned. We'll pay 1, taking a damage and getting a tune counter. 1, 2 for organic webbing. Ham it up, remove 3 threat from the main scheme. Exhaust the webbing, remove a tune counter to ready. So we will attack again and fail. So all those plays are just kind of too efficient not to make. I have only dealt 1 damage here, so will block, or still can block with Spider-Man and rapid response him in. So missed the opportunity to block with Maria Hill, but I think it's important here to attack and deal 2 damage. Give him another boost card and remove the last rage counter, the last use from Now We're Angry. Keeping, I guess I didn't mention it here yet, but keeping the common criminal alive, one of those cases of just taking 1 damage to get 1 resource. I think we'll make that exchange whenever we can. So we start with 1 on the main scheme. Venom attacks, Spider-Man blocks. So decent chance that he gets an overkill effect here, but we've got a good amount of health to tolerate that. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, plus remove a chime counter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a big attack, but does all go into Spider-Man. We will rapid response him back into play, and Web of Life and Destiny when he died and before he came in to draw a card. Common criminal attacks us for 1, so we'll just take it, get that tune counter. And now 2 encounter cards. Another attack. Got pretty good health here, so I think let's just take it. 1, 2, just 2. Good to see one of those advances out of there. Oh, sorry, that should not have dealt 2 damage. That should have removed 2 bell counters from here, 2 chime counters. Right, we don't remove them when Spider-Ham blocked for us because this says when hold on. Did I have this on the wrong side? Oh, I think when I put the 6 counters on here, I never actually flipped it over. So, right, when Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity, you remove those. So when Spider-Man blocked, that took the whole 7 damage. But now with this 2 damage attack, that removes the 2 bell counters. And this attack also doesn't remove chime counters. And Enraged Symbiote, very lackluster minion that we like to see. So, would love to get a Swinging Web Pig off here for that second confusion. Yeah, really can just develop out a lot of stuff here. So clarity of purpose, take 1, get a tune counter for cartoon physics, just an insurance card. Since we're in a good spot, I'm going to prioritize avoiding those worst case scenarios of big overkill attacks. In Rage Symbiote, we could make a similar argument with the Common Criminal where, yeah, we'll take 2 damage for 1 resource, but because of the guard, because of the patrol, because of the scheming for 1, that's enough, plenty of reasons to just get rid of it. So I think I want to do that with Ghost Spider. Pay these 3 for Ghost Spider, pay 3 resources for Web Pig. Can I fit in team building exercise? No, I don't believe so. That's okay. I could play Scarlet Spider instead of Gwen. But nah, I don't really love that. So 3 for Ghost Spider. Take out the Enraged Symbiote. Yeah, I'm just thinking here, I know we said we don't want to give Venom extra boost cards for scheming, but he is going to be confused. So it's a little less risky. Have we seen both biting retorts already? Yeah, there's 1. We've even seen both biting retorts, so there's exactly 1 more scheme card in this stack of 15 cards left. So we'll go for that. We'll pay 3 tune counters for Swinging Web Pig, dealing 7 damage as we're still on the ringing side, and giving that second confuse. I guess the bigger question is, do we keep piling on with additional activations? I think not. We'll just thwart the main scheme to be safe there. But I really don't want to use Spider-Man here. Could ready myself. Yeah, readying is worth another tune counter when we recover. So ready, flip to alter ego, recover. So we're actually probably not as far as we might think from doing a ton of burst damage and just winning on the spot. Maybe try to Yeah, it just depends what we see here. We've seen all the swinging web pigs already, so maybe not. All right, 1 on the main scheme. Venom is confused and does not activate. 2 encounter cards. Shadow of the Past. All right, that'll be a little bit of a speed bump. Luckily, we're not losing too many tune counters when Green Gobbler enters, just a 1. And next card is, Under Fire. All right, nothing like making a game more interesting than drawing the 2 worst encounter cards on the same turn. Definitely thankful to have this happen at this point in the game as compared to turn 1 or maybe turn 2. So, revealing 2 cards. Here's number 1. Get our Obligation. Don't remember if we've seen it yet as a boost card. So we reveal it. We can either exhaust and remove a tune counter to remove this from the game. Don't have any tune counters, but I think we would do the second option anyways, which is just to become stunned. Not a terrible encounter card as a whole. And number 2, Surges. Surges. All right, pretty eventful turn there. This is where Spider-Ham shows what he's made of. Okay. Just trying to see what we could potentially make the call for. So I am going to want to defeat this before defeating the Green Gobbler. I think it's better just to get attacked again for 2 than to have to deal another 4 damage. So can I work in a Petulant Pig? I don't love the idea because this is an overkill attack with an additional boost card. Okay. So, okay, nothing I want to do in Alter Ego. So Spider-Man attack Green Gobbler for 2. Readying Spider-Ham. So thwart this for 3. When defeated, the Green Gobbler attacks the player who defeated this scheme. So we'll take 2, get a tune counter. Ghost Spider, finish off the Gobbler. Maybe could have I'm not quite sure I did that right. Just direct more damage here so that I can use Hogwashed on the Green Gobbler. Oh, I'm going to say it's too late for that. So I do have this Cartoon Physics. Kind of forgot about that. That is going to protect me from this first big attack. All right, so we'll Clarity of Purpose, take a damage, get a tune counter. So that's one resource for Endurance. Actually, you know what? I should just... Yeah, that's fine. Just because if I want to make the call, we should see what card we draw off Maria Hill first, but I'm not sure Maria Hill is the best target anymore. Now that we have Web of Life and Destiny, every Web Warrior will represent an extra card as well. So I think let's actually make the call for Hobie then. So make the call, paying 3 for Hobie. Although I guess we're going to have plenty of turns here of drawing a card. Actually, right, because this is only a once per turn thing, because it has to... Oh no, it's not a once per turn thing. Oh, yeah, never mind then. And then we'll play 1 for target acquired, because why not? And I would like to attack Venom here. So 2 damage, boost card, remove 1. Yeah, and I don't have a way to... I guess I could... I think it's still a worthwhile use of a tune counter to ready. But I think I'll just remove my stun then. All right, so Cartoon Physics at the ready for this first big overkill attack. Hobie does give me another way to damage Venom, but the rage counter is only removed when it's damaged from an attack. All right, 1 card left in the deck, so no extra encounter card this turn. 1 on the main scheme, Venom attacks. We're taking this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put this into play. 5. If this is an attack, take 2 indirect damage. So this gives us 2 indirect damage. And a tune counter. The attack comes in for 5. I want to use Cartoon Physics. So we'll take 1. Then these minions both attack for 1 and then 2. So a little precarious with the health. Oh, you know what? And 1 of those, I forgot the bell tower again. So I think I still would have done it on that 5 damage attack. That was the only attack I actually took from Venom. So I'll wiggle, make it only 1 damage. That 1 damage is going to remove the counter here. So I need to take back 1 tune counter and go back up 1 damage. think that's where we left it. And then 2 encounter cards. Another symbiote, another attachment, gives us an amplify icon. All right. So did we see that second advance yet? No, there is still one advance in here. So is this a turn where we just don't do anything in alter ego? I think probably gonna have plenty of blockers for attacks. We can target acquired if we draw the overkill boost card. Very ally-centric turn here. It's honestly not crazy. If these guard minions weren't here, I would just count up damage, because we can do a lot of damage here. Venom stage 3 is going to have retaliate, so we need to be wary of that. So I have 1 card left. I could look at all of my played cards and count cards and see what this last card is. I hope you'll trust that I'm not doing anything sneaky by looking at what this is. So this is a clarity of purpose. I'll save you 5 minutes of me going through the list of the deck. Basically, I wanted to check that to see if we'd be drawing a card by spending Ghost Spider here. I think it's still a good enough. Oh, well, here's the thing. If a Web Warrior leaves play, we'll draw this card and then reshuffle the deck. And this leaves play interrupt happens before the draw response. So we would need to empty the deck with someone else first. Yeah, it's just a bit of a tricky area. We've got so many resources. Yeah, I'm not going to count up. Should I count up to try to win this turn? Ah, man, because every one of those retaliates gives us another resource. So we can really do an absurd amount of damage here. We do have to get past the guard minions. All right, so I might give you a timestamp where to skip ahead, because I am going to count up damage here. Skip ahead if you want to see me do actual actions here. So put 1 damage on a symbiote, kill the other symbiote, ready, kill the first symbiote. Well, okay, I guess I won't skip ahead too much, because I'm just going to start doing things, and because with the cards we draw, I might change things anyways. So we'll attack a symbiote for 1 damage. Really wish I had the hammer out for this turn. Spider-Man, attack the other symbiote for 2. Ready Spider-Ham, Web of Life and Destiny, draw a card. Deal ourselves an encounter card. I'm betting we have lethal here. Oh, should I have actually? Yes, Peter Parker should be reshuffled into there. So actually that does take away making the call on Peter, which is slightly better than making the call one of these guys. Actually making the call Hobie is really good. So one, 2 resources. No, let's rewind. Because what's the most valuable upgrade to re-ready with Otto? Is it the webbing? That represents 1 damage. This represents 2 more resources. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's this then. So same as I was just doing. 1, 2 for Otto. Ready and upgrade we control. Spider-Ham finishes off this symbiote. So Otto, attack for 2. Put that on the bell tower. Web Warrior leaves play. So we draw. Ghost Spider attacks for 2. Put it on the bell tower. So as an interrupt, we search. So I guess the web pig. Petulant pig. No, I mean, what would we want to be drawing if we did petulant pig? It would just be another web pig. So Ghost Spider leaves play. We draw a card from a Web of Life and Destiny. So I'm also trying to maneuver this where Hobie gets hit by the Retaliate on Venom Stage 3. Although that is actually, that would make Hobie's ability just hit off the tough, which is a little inefficient. So I want to play Americat. You can also call for backup, ham it up. We've got plenty of resources. So pay 1. For call for backup. Ham it up. Get Peter. If we don't win, we're going to have the most boosted counterattack of all time. So Spider-Man Auto's ability doesn't trigger if we don't play it from hand, for what it's worth. So I don't see a way to do exactly 4 damage to Venom. So this will be 3 damage. Removing this, giving him boost. Ready Spider-Ham. Do I still do this with Hobie here? I think I do, because I still think Hobie is just the best guy to make the call. So Hobie attacks for 2. Brings us to stage 3. Comes in with toughness. When revealed, we place 2 face down, or give him 2 boost cards. And 20 life. So Venom retaliates, consequential damage. Trigger Hobie's ability. So we mill 3 cards here, do damage equal to the boost icon count. So 3 damage, but that just hits the tough. Web Warrior left play, draw a card. So if we don't win, I mean, this attack, there's just like no way we survive this attack. So both Now We're Angries are gone. We saw both of those. Looking for the Symbiotic Strength card that gives an attack overkill. Okay, I forget the name of it, but we haven't seen that card yet. So that card is definitely one of these last ones. But we can cancel that with target acquired. Don't know if there's a 4th overkill effect that I'm missing. Suppose I should have actually counted damage, because we might just have damage anyways. Well, I'm going to play as if we are going to be able to survive this counterattack. Which means we hit him for 2, give him a boost. Pay 1, 2, 3 for Captain Americat. Gives us a tune counter. I'm looking for a 7 on a 6-sided die. And shuffle 1 Spider-Ham card from discard into deck. So I guess, I don't know if I can do just part of that ability or if I have to do the whole ability. I know it's not a forced response, so you could skip the whole ability, but if I want the tune counter, I assume I need to do the reshuffle. So I'll go from 7 down to 4 for Swinging Web Pig. So 7 damage. Confuse, boost, acceleration. So now that we're reshuffling, now we're angry in, now we might be stuck with 2 overkill effects in the deck. We're gonna get 1 from the regular boost that comes with every attack anyways. So make the call for, oh, I've been not retaliating. Shoot. So, sorry. So make the call and 2 for Hobie. So how many times did I attack that should have been retaliated against? Ah, crap. Well, definitely the Swinging Web Pig. There was at least 1 regular attack in there. So we started at 4. We did Spider-Man and Ham to, no, we did Spider-Man and Hobie to flip it down. Hobie got rid of the tough. We attacked for 7 with the Web Pig and then attacked for 2 with Ham. I think those are the only attacks we've done that could have retaliated. So I think this is right. Spend 3 to remove this. And then, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage left. We could argue for not even attacking here because we're almost certain to have enough damage. Next turn, possibly should have been playing that way a little while ago. But I actually kind of like that. I think we're going to have to take all these encounter cards anyways. Well, no, because, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hobie blocks. If we hit 3 boost icons, we win in step 2 before going to the encounter cards. Let's go for that. Plus, it's just going to be sicker if it works. So Hobie attacks for 2. Americat attacks for 3. So there's 2 more boost cards. Organic webbing, remove a toon counter to ready. I guess maybe this is one where it's like not. Well, no, but the whole point is to. All right, we're all in. We're all in. This might be reckless. You know the game's about to end, but you don't know if it's going to be a win or a loss. I'm digging this circumstance as a video creator. Retaliate 1. Here we go. Needed you a little bit earlier. These 2 cartoon physics are going to taunt me. So step 1, we put on 2 threat. Venom attacks. Spider-Man blocks. So here's the regular boost. So coming in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and no overkill effect. So that means that this is the overkill card. So Spider-Man Hobie takes 14 damage. And as the interrupt, we will discard 3 cards from here. And booyah, there's 4 boost icons. We do get the damage increased by 1 anyways, but that gives us the victory. Ah, sick. All right, so let's just check here. Yep, that was the exact overkill card, but luckily, I mean, actually, that's crazy. We had 7 or 8 cards left, and the one that got dealt as a boost was, or as a encounter card when we depleted our player deck was that one. So we had the target acquired ready for that, but right, if we drew a second, I mean, that was what, 14 damage? Hobie blocks 1, we remove 4 here, that kills us. So possibly not all the highest percentage plays made there at the end. Could have dragged it out a little longer, been a little more conservative. But whenever you do that, you run just the risk of advance or extra attacks that you're not ready for. So, I mean, there's never a totally safe way to play out the game. Yeah, I think that should give you a pretty good idea of why Spider-Ham is regarded as one of the best heroes in the game. I'm trying to think, well, I won't go through the effort of trying to count how many toon counters we spent as resources that game, but it was like 20. Just like a 20 extra resource hero over, I think that was a 5-turn game. We flipped every turn and ended in hero form, so I think that was a 5-turn game. So like 4 extra resources a turn. That's quite absurd, and then the actual cards that we're playing with those resources are very strong as well, between the Swinging Web Pig and Ham It Up and Organic Webbing. So, wow, super fun ending. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And stick around. Next video will be Spider Protection against Mysterio. So it should be a fun one as well. Always fun when we get to try to win on Heroic with the Protection deck. So, I'll see everyone then. Thanks for watching.